Hey guys, I hope the quality of this video is going to be okay. I had to get a new laptop because my other one completely broke, and I've not used this one before, so I hope that the quality turns out okay. And all I can see is myself on a massive screen, which I'm not used to because I'm used to a tiny little one. I'm really sorry that I haven't made a video. I seem to spend my life apologising for not making videos. Things have been difficult. They've been quite difficult, and a lot's changing again, which seems to be ongoing, and I guess that's how life is. And I've just been trying to level out my mood and sort out my medication, and I'm having some problems with my thyroid because of the lithium, so it's kind of produced some sort of, it's like some side effects like chronic fatigue and things, so it's been quite difficult to really get things done. And today I wanted to make a video because it's Thursday, and also because I've been thinking about EJ, who I lost 5 years ago to suicide, who's one of my really good friends, and I kind of wanted to dedicate this video to her. And it's not even the content of the video that I want to dedicate to her, but just the video itself. And I just wanted to say a few words about how difficult it is to lose somebody to suicide, and the ongoing impact that has on your daily life, even 5 years down the line, and the thoughts of how somebody so special could, can be lost, and the memories that you hold, and trying to hold on to those in a way that is positive for you. And it's what I try to do with people that I've lost. I can look at pictures. I'm somebody who can do that. I can go through pictures. I can process some of those things, and that's something that not everybody can do. It's certainly not something my mum does, but I can do that, and I still have pictures of her. And I think I lost my little Chazzy cat, and just to be surrounded by those things. So I wanted to just speak a little bit about suicide and the impact of losing someone to suicide before we move on to the topic for this week. I want you to know that if you're in a place right now whereby you're incredibly suicidal, you're thinking about suicide, even if it's suicidal ideation, so you're not necessarily going to go ahead with it, that in the realm of mental health, it's normal, because having a mental health problem is by no means easy. I'm somebody who's recovered, and I don't battle with all these negative thoughts towards myself. I don't beat myself up over feeling too fat, or any of those feelings connected to when I have my illness, and this horrible self-hate and wanting to be out of my own body. And yet I will confess that I do think about suicide, and it isn't something that I think about in the sense of I'm going to go out there and do it now. I think about it in the sense that I'm still coming to terms with the fact that I'm going to have to live with bipolar disorder. And I don't know, sorry, I've not washed my hair for for like 3 days. It's absolutely disgusting, it's horrible. And I'm going to have to live with that illness, and I don't know what that result's going to be. I don't know what that ultimately means, and so I think about it because I don't want that to be my life. It's not that I don't want to be alive. I want to be alive more than anything in this world, and I live my life in the best way I know how. But it is a consideration, and it is something that is there, and I would like to pretty much be certain that I would never do anything, but it's scary. It's a scary thought. And I guess that if you're in a place now whereby you don't see a way out of where you are, you have to that's what the illness is doing to you. And so you believing that there is no way out of this, that nothing will ever be solved with regards to relationships, friendships, situations that have broken down, if you truly feel that you've lived all the life that you need to live or feel you want to live, it's not true. And it's not true because I think about what EJ would be doing now, and there is no way that she was at the end of her life when she did what she did, and there is no way that you are at the end of your life. And you have to believe in something. You have to maybe let someone believe in you, and that belief they have in you be what keeps you here. Because as cliched as it is, and as I always say, a cliche is a cliche for a reason, it won't always be this way. I'm still screwed up. I've still got issues. I've still got problems with my mood. This has been going on for I don't know how many years, and I still am at a point where I can think about suicide, and it's frustrating as hell because I fought so hard with my eating disorder and my self-harm and all my other behaviours, and I've learned to feel comfortable with myself and love myself, that this is still here. And I'm not asking you to just feel sorry for me and be kind of like, oh, poor Rachel. I don't want that. But what I want you to know is that I know that place. I know that feeling of not seeing a way out of it. And in reality, there isn't a way out of this for me. And for a lot of you, there might not be, because a number of people with, you know, these sort of eating disorder problems, what have you, have problems like bipolar, will maybe have mental health problems that you can recover from, but still have to kind of manage a mood disorder. So I wanted to say that's kind of what I wanted to get out, and what I'm going to do for the next few minutes, well, she says few minutes, next 5 minutes, is talk about the topic this week, which is something quite relevant to a lot of people I have spoken to of recent, and it's about distancing yourself from people, from certain people in your life who you feel may be making it more difficult. What I do want to say is I don't want to sit here and say, oh, you should get rid of this person so that you blame that other person. What I do want to say is that you may need to distance yourself from somebody, not because they are in the wrong, not because you don't love them, but because it's not particularly helpful for both of you. My best friend Tracy is somebody who I'm constantly in touch with, but we have had periods where we have not been in touch with one another. Most sort of in recent years was when she was very poorly, and it was so distressing for me, so painful, and I kind of beat myself up a bit about it still now, that I just couldn't deal with it. I actually could not see somebody suffer that way. And another time when I've been poorly, the same thing has happened. And how I've always viewed it is that by setting that kind of space and that distance, it's actually what has preserved our friendship and us being best friends. So if you have somebody that means the world to you, sometimes you need to walk away, and it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean that they're the bad person. It doesn't mean that anybody's to blame. It just means that you've got yourself to a situation whereby there needs to be some distance, because what happens otherwise is this endless conflict. And somebody I've spoken about with regards to conflict is my dad, and he's at the house in France. He's sort of half kind of lives there, I guess, now. And it gives me space from him because I love him to pieces. I think he's the most wonderful person in the whole world. But we clash, and when we clash, it's like I could kill him, and I don't want that relationship with him. So if I give myself that space from him, it means that we can still have our relationship, and it be a positive relationship, but not be one where we're nearly killing one another. And I think that happens if you've got two personality types that are very similar. If you've got two people who are very stubborn, very determined, very what's the word, like, I don't know what the word is, but like not going anywhere, and I guess that's kind of stubborn, you're going to put yourself in a position of destroying what could be potentially there. And as painful as it might be to walk away for a little bit, it doesn't mean it's forever, okay? It doesn't mean it's forever. It doesn't mean you don't love one another. And it certainly doesn't mean that things can't be resolved. And it doesn't mean that you'll have the friendship or the relationship that you had before. My relationship with my dad is like, has changed so much over the years. And I was never a daddy's girl, never will be a daddy's girl. And that's fine, that's okay. And it has been about learning about him as well, and the things we do have in common. And the things we do have in common, we have a lot of fun with, and we have a lot of banter with. And the things we don't, and where we clash, it's about saying, right, hang on, do you know what, I'm not going to talk about that right now. So in terms of walking away from people, that can literally be for a few hours, or it can be for a few days, it could be for a few weeks, it could be for a few months. You might have some people who you do want to just walk away from, and I've done that this year, and it has just been so painful. But I know that it's what I've had to do, and I've crumbled many a times and nearly picked up that phone, and I have just thought, no, it's just not healthy for me. And I've had to let that go, as difficult as that has been. And those people, whoever they are, may think that I'm just this bitch who just does this, and it's nothing to do with that. I've had to do what I've needed to do for myself. And yes, that might be seen as selfish, but what's the point in me hurting myself? What's the difference in me hurting myself but being still in that friendship, or looking after myself? I've got to put myself first and be able to live with that and know that it was the right decision. And there's some people I think might come back into my life. I do. I think there's some people who might come back into my life, but there's certain people who I know for a fact I'll never ever let back in my life again. Never. And it's taken a long time to realise how toxic they are, how destructive they may have been for me. And it is about saying, yep, we had that time, you know, that friendship might have only lasted a few months, we had a really awesome time, but in the end it was destructive for me. But ultimately it just wasn't working on either ends, and I think that that's the point you've got to come to. But it won't happen without a storm. And when you've got women especially, I think, maybe not, but it's probably going to be nasty, and there's probably going to be a lot of tears, and it's going to be pretty brutal, but that will settle. And if something is meant to be, or someone is supposed to be in your life, they will come back into your life, and I truly believe that. And it's just about being brave, and you don't have to do it in a horrible way. And if you do it in a way that's been name calling and all the rest of it, you're human, and you're human. That's all I can say to you, because I'm not exactly a perfect example of being able to walk away from people in the most respectful or you know, taking the high road and just being above all of that. We all have emotions, and that's okay. And that's what I want you to carry with you from this video, really, is that you're human, and you're going to hurt, and things can hurt you, and there doesn't need to be a reason. You don't need to justify it. And you do what you do. You do what you do, and you do it because you feel it's the best thing for you, and even for those around you. Right, guys, I'm going to go before this video cuts me off, and I'm going to say it's been really nice actually making a video, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I love you all, and I truly do hope that I can be around a little bit more. So I love you loads. Love you. Bye. Bye.